Hey y'all, it's Ashley with another July 2014 Hip Kit Club layout. So I am looking through my stash of items that I have left, and I'm not, at this point, I'm not really sure what I want to do. I don't have anything planned. And so I'm just going to look through my pattern papers to see what route I want to take. And I'm kind of thinking about the color scheme that I'm looking for, and that's how I'm going to decide my embellishments and everything else. Now, the two photos that I have picked out, one is of our church and on the wedding day, of course, and then the other one is of, I believe it's either me and my dad or me and David dancing. I see me. I don't know who the other person is, but I don't. It kind of doesn't matter because I actually don't use those photos, and so I decide with the design that I'm going for that those two photos don't work for what I'm wanting to do. So as you see, I pulled out that tray of embellishments and I put some things aside. I know that I want to use this yellow paper, and I'm thinking at this point I do want it to take up about not half of the page, but well, yeah, I do. I guess I'm just not doing that right now. But I'm cutting strips because I know that I kind of want to do something with the pattern paper strips. And so I do that first. And then this is my favorite paper, the Something Wonderful collection by Teresa Collins. I'm cutting that up in strips as well. And so I kind of have my basic thought down, my thought process kind of going down. So I know that I want to put this paper, this yellow paper with that floral design on the back. I believe that's by October Afternoon, but I'll double check. And then I want to start kind of laying the strips down. I'm not really even sure how this is going to look, but I'm just kind of thinking this is what I want right now. And I felt like the colors that I'm choosing go well together. So kind of deciding at this point, do I like it and do I not? I do like that yellow strip there at the bottom. And I wasn't sure if I liked that. I thought that kind of took away the triangles with the colored, some of them colored in. I kind of thought that it may be taking away from some of the other elements that I have, and so I don't know that I actually go with that one just because I felt like your eye went straight to that one. Okay, I think it's kind of bugging me that I'm not sure if that was October Afternoon paper that I used, but I felt like it was. It's going to be either October Afternoon or crepe paper. I'm pretty sure it's October Afternoon. I'm just trying to think of the collection that it would have come from, though. So if I'm wrong, I will put like a little annotation or something in so that you guys can see. So I think I'm liking the basic design that I have going on, which is probably about more than half of the white background covered with that yellow pattern paper, and then the strips coming down the middle. And then here's where I've chosen a different photo because I did not like the other two photos. I didn't think that it went, I wanted to focus on one photo, and so with those other two photos, I couldn't just use one. They're really small for this. If it was like an 8.5 by 11 or a mini album, it'd be different. But for me, I kind of wanted to use something a little bit different. I'm not really sure why I chose to ink the edges. I'm not sure if I wanted well, my thought was I wanted the white to kind of stand out. I wanted the photo to stand out a little, or pop a little bit more against all those pattern papers in the background. I'm not really even sure if that did anything. So you'll have to excuse this tape. I don't know why I'm saying that because I love it. It was like $3. My brother-in-law sent me a text and said he had gotten it in. He got it in at Habitat Restore, and he said, "Do you want this?" And it was like in plastic still, and it was it's a 3M tape and it's a foam tape, and he knew that I liked to scrapbook and stuff like that, and so he's like, "Do you want this?" And I think he had, mentioned later on it was kind of yellow. But I was like, oh, well, and so anyway, he picked it up for me, and I'm using it. I mean, I'm not putting it directly onto the photo, so I think it should be fine. And I just make sure when I use it either on cards or like on layers so that it's not touching directly onto the photo. So now that so I kind of lied, I guess, about that triangle paper. I guess I do end up keeping it there. But looking at it now, with the embellishments being placed onto the layout, I feel like it's not too distracting. So I chose tint. So the chipboard piece, that's the 1 and the 0, is from Teresa Collins, Something Wonderful. A couple of these embellishments are from the Open Road collection, as well as October Afternoon. These alphas are October Afternoon as well. And then, of course, I'm looking at these chipboard pieces from Something Wonderful again to kind of choose from there. And I feel like I'm picking quite a bit from those chipboard pieces. I love those. And this is a pretty embellishment heavy layout, which I'm totally okay with. Sometimes I like to keep it simple. Sometimes I like to do lots of embellishment. Sometimes I'd rather, you know, use a more mixed media than anything. But I really loved the way that this layout turned out, especially at the end. You guys will see, you know, the final photos and stuff. And I don't know, it's got to be one of my favorites, I think. I took the stamp set, the DIY Simple Story stamp set, and just stamped Smile onto that speech bubble. It had a smiley face on it, so I felt like that was appropriate. Sorry I'm a little out of frame here, but I just added some buttons to the top. You can see it now. It's by that speech bubble up at the top. And I've added 2 to the bottom as well. And then I'm adding these enamel shapes to my layout. And I'm adding a heart and then a few enamel dots as well. I feel like that gave a nice touch. And it's a fairly, even though there's a lot going on, I feel like it's clean. And so you guys may look at it and be like, that's not clean, it's all over the place. But until I add the ink, it's a fairly, like, I guess organized maybe is a better way. It's a fairly organized layout for me. And I don't know, I like that everything's straight, and I'm not really typically like that, but I did like the way that it turned out. So I took that same stamp set, took the heart and the stars, and just got some ink out and just started stamping. I believe this is Pink Pirouette from Stampin' Up. Those are my favorite inks, by the way. And this is the star. I'm going to use real red as well because there's some red elements. And then here are the final photos that are coming up. I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, if that paper is not correct, I will let you guys know. But here's the final photos. Stay tuned for my next layout. Y'all have a great Saturday.